What are you too old for? And what are you thinking when I'm asking this question? Things that you feel you cannot do anymore and you kind of miss them, or things that you won't tolerate anymore in your life, and it's liberating. Bonjour, practical dreamers. It's Claire from integralealife.com with practical body, mind, wisdom, and tools for balancing life with relaxed energy, effortless action, and meaningful connections. And this is, well, first off, happy birthday to me. I had the idea of this podcast because it's my birthday this week. And aging, I had always a positive relationship to aging, actually. And I'm always puzzled by people who explain anything that they cannot do or by aging, like, oh, I'm too old to. And one time that I was so clear to me, it was ridiculous, is back when I was living on my sailing boat. So in my 20s, and this was at versus the end of it. So I was approaching 30, and so were my friends. Except my sailing friends, because I met so many old, quote unquote, old people living on sailing boats. Many people were waiting to be retired to then buy the boat and go. So I met a lot of people in their 60s, in the 70s, going around and, really good shape. And so one time, a friend of mine came to visit me on my boat, and he was approaching 30. He was my age, and he was struggling to get on board. So to his defense, it wasn't so easy. It wasn't straightforward. In that harbor, you needed to climb the rope, kind of. But me, all my friends, all my older friends could do it, and it was okay. And he struggled because he wasn't used to it. But what came up in his mind, it was, oh, and he said, oh my God, it's not nice to age. And I was like, guy, you're 30, you're not even 30. And I know people way over 70 who climb that rope without a problem. The problem is not your age. The problem is what you think you are, who you think you are. And that's the whole thing about aging that makes me really crazy sometimes, because people limit themselves based on an idea that our society has on your age. So if you're 20, you can do that. If you're 30, you can do that. Oh my God, you begin to be old, and you're 40 and so on. And you read stupid things, like I read not so long ago on a forum for nomads, someone asking about traveling after 40. And I'm, by what he wrote, he must have been in his 20s with a lot of sad ideas about what it is to be over 40. And I hope for him, he will change his mind before he get there, because he will have a very sad life if he doesn't. Because if you listen to him, after 40, you need to nap. So you couldn't go camping, for example, and you need really a nice environment. So you shouldn't go anything less than 4-star hotel and this kind of stuff. And I was like, what kind of world are you living in? So like most things, your beliefs create your reality. And there are lots of studies right now studying aging and the influence of culture on aging, especially memory. They are not definitive, but in some cases they have found that in some culture where elders are looked in a positive way, like China, for example, they don't have the same problem of memory that we do in our society, my included. In France, we don't look at old people like geniuses, and we look at them like, well, you're losing your mind and your memory soon. And it influences you. But I can't count the examples of people perceived as old because their age is big, but who are in better shape than many perceived as young because their age is smaller. So on top of all my sailing friends, hi guys, if you see me, I love you to bits. A few of my favorites are well, two persons that really have influenced me a lot, two teachers. Body Ben Bridge, the founder of Body Mind Centering. I've never seen someone move with more grace and meaning than her. And when I met her, she was over 80 and she was still teaching. She was teaching a module I was in. And it was just beautiful and really touching to see her. And yeah, she was in better shape than most. And she is still teaching to that day. That was 10, yeah, well, yeah, something like 10 years ago, more. And Suzuki Sensei, my shiatsu teacher, he was 60 something. It was difficult to give him an age, looked younger, but he was over 60 and he was beating us all. And we were like between 20 and 40 something at running, at doing, which is the Japanese kind of yoga and Qigong all together. He had more force and more endurance than any of us. So age has nothing to do with that. It's how you perceive yourself, and of course, how you perceive yourself means that you will use your body in a different way. One other of my favorites is Tao Portion Lin. She died not so long ago, but this lady taught yoga until she was 100. Yes. And you can find lots of video of her. She did an amazing TED talk that I might put in the page because it's just so beautiful. She began ballroom dancing when she was 80 something. I just love this lady. So what do you believe about being old? I hope you have well, you know, I hope you have a positive belief about that. But if you don't, how can you turn it around? What do you perceive you cannot do? Where does it come from? Who decided it? Are you afraid to lose your memory? Well, use it. The more you use your memory, the less you will use it. In other words, the less you will lose it. Is it fitness, balance, flexibility? Train now. You know, if you whatever you are afraid to lose with age, are you using it right now? How are you using it? Make use of it, explore it, have fun with it. Like face your fears and outsmart them. And really don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. And I will leave you with this last image, which was beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. And this goes a long time ago. I was still like a teenage and seeing French TV, a reportage on two beautiful ladies in the 80s. And in Paris, we have Le Trocadéro, which is a long, flat square. And it's stone, pavement stone. So it's really flat and it's really great to do rollers and skates. So a lot of people gather to do that there. And these ladies over 80 were doing that. The two of them, they were beautiful. They were doing things that I never could do on a roller, like, you know, the one leg up and turning on them and doing all kind of figures, which was amazing and freeing. And one guy must have, by his look, I would say between 25 and 30, was just reacting like it was a scandal. Oh my God, at their age, they should be doing that. My take on that is he was just jealous because he couldn't do it. But don't be that guy. Be those ladies. Fuck everyone else and do what the fuck you want. Because no one's going to do it for you. So you might as well, you know, not listen to them and do it. And that was your weekly dose of fierce love. Boom, life got easier. Thanks for being here. I'm really curious for your comments and questions on, you know, on the wherever you can drop them. I love this conversation. I always reply. And yeah, this is, oh my God, I could go on and on. This is a subject that's so dear for me because we have a lot of self-imposed limitations. And this is such a big one. if we just drop it, oh, life is easier. So this is my wish for you today. Subscribe to save more, spread the fierce love, share to anyone who needs to hear that, and see you soon. Until then, embody 100% you. Bye, au revoir, and happy birthday to me and everyone else who happens to be his birthday today.